Hi everyone, my name is Eliza Olivares and I am going to show you our live demonstration for our project. Our project named FixIt, Faculty Issue Exchange and Information Tracker. It is from our Software Engineering 1 and improved in our Software Engineering 2. Let me give you an overview of our project. The FixIt, or Faculty Issue Exchange and Information Tracker, introduces a mobile, web, and desktop-based maintenance reporting system that mitigates issue submissions, tracking, and administrative processing. This system enables students, faculty, and staff to conveniently report facility concerns with the use of standardized digital platforms supported by AI-powered categorization feature using NLP-trained multinomial naive-based classification model. This allows administrators to efficiently review, edit, and assign issue statuses via a centralized dashboard that is reinforced with analytics, audit logs, and role-based authentications. And from our version 1, we encountered some only few problems, and those are the bug fixes, or like in the account profile, image doesn't show, especially or specifically in the web view. So we need to fix that, and also model improvements for like faster categorization, and also our UI and UX polish, because as you can see here, it is very beginner flat application. So we had to do something for that. And for our version 2, the faculty exchange or the FixIt evolved from a functional software engineering prototype into a secure, cloud-deployed, production-oriented maintenance reporting platform under software engineering 2. The system was redesigned to support real-world deployment standards and integrating modern cloud infrastructure. By integrating modern cloud infrastructure, secure authentication, and centralized issue management and scalable deployment workflows, Fixit is now a cloud deployed maintenance reporting system for students, faculty, and staff. The project used Microsoft Azure for deployment and infrastructure management, enabling secure web access, centralized issue tracking, and streamlined workflow for handling campus maintenance concerns. And for version 2 improvements, aside from what I have said earlier about the bug fixes, model improvements, and UI UX improvements, we also integrate some major engineering improvements for especially in the deployment of our application, which we have the cloud native deployment using Azure App Services, federated identity authentication using Microsoft Entra ID and Google OAuth. But the Google OAuth is originally in our version 1, but it is also improved, and we use the version 2. And CI/CD automation through GitHub Actions, centralized production database using Supabase PostgreSQL. Back in our version 1, we just used SQLite, but in our software fest, the on our RSC, the panel suggested that we must use a bigger database for our reporting system, since it will hold a lot of data or a lot of reports and information from users. And also secure secrets management through Azure, and also secure secrets management through Azure Key Vault and app settings, and improve scalability, reliability, and monitoring readiness. Um, on our version 1, we still have the audit logs, and for monitoring, we monitor the login and how users log in and logged out, and also the AI-powered NLP categorization using multinomial naive-based model is um, was retained since it is very functional for our application. Now, since our application is now deployed on cloud using Microsoft Azure, we can access it through cloud, of course. And we used it in our, or included it in our GitHub repository for better access, especially for our documentation for cloud computing. And here, you can see the link, and if you click that, it will load. Then it will let us now access the application. So now, let's begin the demonstration. First things first, you have to click the Get Started. Then it will direct you to a sign-in page, which says, here, welcome back, since I've been using this application earlier. And you have For signing in, you have to select your role, which we have here, admin, student, and faculty. For example, we'll choose student. Then, since this application aimed to be used for the institution, it is highly suggested that we'll use our CSPC email. You have to click that. Then it will direct you to the accounts logged in your laptop if you have. Then click and continue. It will now direct you to your dashboard or your account. Here, no, it says no reports yet since you haven't reported any issue. You can see here we have dashboard and reports. We have here for pending, ongoing, resolved, and rejected, and it says no reports in this category, and your account. Here you can see your profile, name, email, and role. You can also edit that and save changes if you have any edit, and cancel if you don't have. Then you can go back, and you can also do dark mode and light mode for this. Then let's try to have a new report. Issue description. For example, um, full trash bin. Then location. CCS building. CCS building. Rice lab. Then you can attach a photo if you have. Then it says here that your report will be automatically categorized using AI. Since the app is using NLP categorization, the issue description will be read, then it will categorize in, or it will be denoted into a certain category. Then submit report submitted. You can click done, and then now you can see here your dashboard with a current report which says pending, and you can see here your report. Then you can also edit your report and delete it, and that's for the student dashboard. And for the faculty dashboard, it only has the same UI for the both of that. Then you can go log out. Then the next demonstration is for the admin dashboard. Select your role, admin, and here we have our specific admin email. We have admin at fixit.com and password adminfixit.com, then password. Let's try to have or to input different password. Since, as you can see, since I have inputted the wrong password, it says invalid admin credentials. But let's try to have the actual password. Then sign in. Now here's the admin dashboard. As you can see here, we have the top categories, which we have cleaning and sanitation, building and facilities, ICT and equipment. Here we have data analytics for total reports, total users, resolved reports, and resolution or percentage for our reports. Then we have status distribution for pending, in progress, and resolved. Since we only had three, um, they are balanced. And we have reports this week. On Monday, we have only one, and for Friday, we have one also. And we have reports this week and resolution rate, and we have reports by category, reports by location, and we have top reporters. For reports, you can see here we have all the reports pending, in progress, resolved, rejected, and expired. Then we have here, let's try to click the cleaning and sanitation report. We have here the report from Eliza Olivares, which we created from May 15, 2026 at 9:24. Then the admin can update the status or delete the report if it is or it has a duplicate, or the admin wants to delete her report. Then let's go back for for building and facilities. So we have here a report from Arabella Baita from CCS room 6. Um, it is a broken ceiling fan which she created from May 11, 2026 at 3 p.m. Then the admin can also update the status or delete. Then let's see here, ICT and equipment. We have a report from Arabella Baita from CCS building slow Wi-Fi connection. It is created from um February 27, 2026 at 3 p.m. or 3 at 3 p.m. Then it is on the awaiting deletion grace window since it has now expiration ticket since the report has been here for like 3 months, almost 3 months. Then you can the admin can extend the report, update the status, and delete. For audit logs, the admin can track all the user's action, and the admin can also filter based on actor email, action type, status, start date, and end date. And um, the admin can also search, clear, and export to CSV or export the report on a CSV format. And here in logs, as you can see, even the admin login can be um, logged. Um, in audit logs, it uh, in audit logs, the login status can also be denoted as successful or failed. And as you can see here, we have success and failed for our admin login and a user login from Eliza Olivares, which she report or created a report and it was successful. Then in user activity, the admin can see the user activity and the admin can see the email that the user used. Then the admin can also see how many logins the user tried. And for the admin account, the admin can also change his or her profile. Then here is the email and the role. And going back to the dashboard, you can also I anyway the admin can also change the mode or theme on dark and light. And the last thing is to log out after using. And that's it for the app demonstration of the Fixit.
As recommended by the panel, we implemented a ticket expiration mechanism to better manage inactive or outdated requests. So this feature ensures that old tickets do not remain in the system indefinitely and tickets remain active for 30 days, after which they are automatically marked as expired and can no longer be edited by the users. So as you can see here, this ticket is marked as expired and um, editing is no longer allowed. So because once a ticket reach its expiration period, the system automatically disables user editing to prevent further modification. And in admin side, even though the tickets expire after 30 days, admin still have the control for request. If needed, the admins can extend the ticket by 7 days when it is close to expiry, and they can also update the status or delete na lang the ticket if it remains unresolved after um, 7 days.
One of the recommendations from the panel is to replace the current database, which is SQLite, with a more scalable database that can handle multiple users at the same time. SQLite is a lightweight database and it works both for small projects and testing. However, it has limitations when many users access the system simultaneously. It may experience lower performance, database lacking issues, and limited concurrent connections. Because of this, SQLite is not the best option for large-scale or production-level applications. To address this recommendation, we use we use Supabase PostgreSQL as a replacement for SQLite. We chose Supabase PostgreSQL because it is more scalable, reliable, and capable of handling multiple users and simultaneous requests efficiently. Since it is a cloud-based, it also provides the accessibility and scalability of the system. In addition, Supabase provides better security, built-in authentication, support and real-time database features, making it more suitable for real-world deployment. Therefore, replacing SQLite with Supabase PostgreSQL improves the overall performance, scalability, and reliability of our system.